So welcome to this session on what to do when you're not playing. It's something that maybe we don't think about as often as we should. We focus so hard on preparing and learning what we're supposed to play that the moments or even entire section of songs where we aren't playing can go completely unnoticed. Maybe in those moments you know exactly what to do and you naturally engage in worship. Or maybe in those moments you feel kind of like Ricky Bobby and you don't know what to do with your hands. The reality is that we're all worship leaders on the platform. We tend to think of the worship leader as the one who is singing the lead vocal for a given song or for a moment. But the reality is that everyone on the platform is a constant visual example of how to exalt and encounter the rescuing and transformational presence of the living God. And because we're all wired differently, there are different people in the congregation that will connect with each of us on the platform as their example of how to engage with God and worship Him. I believe that's because people in the congregation connect more with our heart and our expression of worship than they do our craft. That means that people aren't connecting with the example of your guitar playing or singing as much as they are connecting with your example of worship. So, what do you do when you're not playing? Obviously, you worship. But I want to give you some practical examples of the things to do in those moments that you aren't playing. First, express yourself. The Lord loves to see us express ourselves physically in worship. He loves it when we lift our hands or clap our hands or bow our head and look to heaven. Maybe for some of you guitar players, you're mostly concentrating on your part or looking down at your guitar and your hands are busy. So try to look for opportunities when you're not playing to lift your hands and lift your head and outwardly express what's going on in your heart. Second, pray. Often there are portions of songs where we aren't singing, like intros and outros and interludes, and those are great moments to pray. Pray the heart of the song to God. Pray for the people in the room and give the congregation a great example of what to do in those moments as well. Those instrumental moments in songs are meant to be filled with our prayers, our meditations, and celebrations. When we take those opportunities to do so, it teaches the congregation that those moments aren't for them to wait and watch for more lyrics to appear on the screen. But it teaches the congregation that those instrumental moments are meant to be filled with our prayers and celebrations and with thoughtful meditations on what we're singing about. So, pray and worship freely in those moments and lead the congregation to do the same. Lastly, don't play. Now this is sort of comical, but there may not be a stronger force in the physical universe than the temptation to noodle on our instruments when we shouldn't or sing harmonies where they don't belong, simply because we don't know what to do or we're bored. But I do believe we can overcome that great temptation and let those moments breathe musically and vocally the way they should. So let's not only lead worship when we're engaging in our craft, but let's all be worship leaders in every moment that God entrusts us to on the platform. Let's not miss a single moment to exemplify what it means to exalt and encounter the living God together.